while though. Bro, I can't believe the game is still open. That was the 21st, today's the 1st. Or no, today's the 2nd. Oh my gosh. Anyway. I figure we'll knock out the case real quick, and then hit up Elden Ring. Hunt 2, how do you play?
That's right.
It's auto.
She had 2 separate wounds on her head.
And remember, this girl examines dead bodies as a hobby. Personally, I'm inclined to believe her.
But I only hit her once. How could she have 2 wounds?
2 wounds means she was struck twice. What's more, both attacks must have come from a Monokuma bottle.
Hold on. How can you know that just from some cuts on her head? She was attacked twice with 2 Monokuma bottles?
It's not just because of her head wounds. It's also because of the Monokuma bottles themselves. There's something very suspicious about those bottles. Once you understand that point, you'll understand why 2 separate Monokuma bottles must have been used. Think back. After the incident, there were 4 Monokuma bottles left on the shelf, right? And we found pieces of a bottle on the ground, along with the chess piece it had inside.
That was the bottle Hiro hit Sakura with, right?
For now, just note that there were 4 intact bottles and 1 broken bottle. But originally, there were 6 bottles in total, meaning 1 has gone missing.
But how can you know for sure there were 6 bottles?
That's easy. If you look at what the bottles all had in common, it should become clear.
I don't have my glasses on, I can't read, I'm cleaning them. Hold on. Hold. They were dirty. The correlation between the Monokuma bottles, I feel like is starting to become clear. The connection must be, it's the object that the Monokuma figure inside each bottle is holding. It's a chess piece. How do you shoot again?
Now I understand.
Now I understand.
That's it. The chess pieces. Inside each bottle, there was a Monokuma figure holding a different chess piece.
That's it, the chess pieces.
King, rook, bishop, pawn. I definitely remember seeing each of those.
And horsey.
The piece that was inside the broken bottle we found was the knight, if I remember.
Sorry, it's called horsey?
So, what's that matter?
I guess you don't know too much about chess, do you? Then let me explain. In chess, there are 6 different pieces. The king, the queen, the rook, knight, bishop, and pawn. What was left intact at the crime scene were the king, rook, bishop, and pawn. Just those 4. And on the ground was the knight.
Oh, so the queen is missing.
So we only have evidence for 5 bottles at the scene, while 1 apparently went missing.
What does chess have to do with anything?
Yeah, shogi is way better.
Yeah. Wait, no, that's not what I mean.
Isn't it the same thing?
So, let's say a bottle did go missing. There's still no evidence.
I never
that
played
has
shogi,
anything to
but
do with this case.
I would just reskin chess.
That bottle could have disappeared disappeared any time before the murder.
See, I remember they weighed the same.
No.
We weighed the glass.
It's
So
clear that the missing bottle is connected to this case.
How is it clear?
Think about what state the missing bottle must have been in. Maybe then you'll understand.
no, I pressed down another time. It didn't register my input. Why do you freeze on the middle one?
I
You
got
go
it!
down, down, and then you freeze.
The bottle must have been broken
What?
My flawless, my flawless.
Sure.
because there was evidence at the scene that supports it.
Huh?
That's right. We found evidence that shows there was more than just one broken bottle at the scene.
And what is this evidence?
Single broken bottle, and the evidence just proves that is. Hyoka and I figured it out before. It's not A, it's Y.
I got it! Earlier, Kyoko and I did a little experiment. We compared the weight of the broken bottle pieces at the scene to one of the unbroken bottles. And what we found was that the collection of pieces was heavier. And the reason for that is there was actually more than one bottle's worth of shattered glass.
So from this, we can surmise that 2 bottles were actually broken at the scene of the crime. But someone did their best to clean up the pieces of one of the bottles, along with the figure inside. But when they did, they must have left behind a few too many pieces. Which is only natural. They certainly had no way to measure the exact right number of pieces to remove.
Hyoka just carries around a measuring scale.
Why would they have to try and get rid of it like that anyway?
Because of what it would reveal about the case.
There can be no doubt that the missing Monokuma bottle is involved in this case. Has it been used by the second attacker?
I got it!
I got it. We're
The
regenning,
bottle
we're
that was
regenning.
removed from the scene was used the second time Sakura was attacked.
The second wound on Sakura's head came from that second bottle. Given all the evidence, this is the only possible conclusion.
The killer wanted to make it look like there was only one attack, so they had to get rid of their evidence.
From there, we can conclude that it wasn't Hiro who delivered that second blow. Wouldn't you agree, Toko? And there's the matter of the magazine. You must have been in the rec room when the incident
Since
took
when do you
place.
accuse people like that?
Wait, I admit, maybe
Kinda
that was
cocky.
a second attack, but there's no evidence I had anything to do with it.
Just needs an area.
No way! You killed her! I'm sure of it!
Nope.
Shut up! Until 2 seconds ago, you were claiming you killed her.
I'm not afraid to admit when I'm wrong. That's just the kind of guy I am.
So true, so true.
Plus, I just remembered something that proves it.
Okay, fine. Let's hear it.
It was right after I got Ogre's note. I was kind of nervous about it, so I went to the rec room early. You know, to stake it out or whatever. So I was waiting there, and that's when I saw her. I saw Toko go into the rec room.
You did?
Pretty soon, Ogre showed up, and she went into the rec room. I assumed Toko was still in there, so I figured everything would be okay. That's why I headed in. But when I got inside, Ogre was all alone. Toko had disappeared.
And you just now decided to share that with us?
After the
They put
shock
the
of
imp
thinking I
inside of
killed someone,
the locker?
I forgot all about it.
Could someone tighten the screws on his brain? I think they've come loose.
That was kind of mean. Sorry.
Toko, where the heck did you disappear to?
You don't know what you're talking about. I never went in the rec room.
I'm sure she didn't disappear. but maybe she found somewhere to hide.
What? Hiding in the rec room? Don't be ridiculous.
I'm folding laundry, do not ask me to do a rhythm battle.
Why are you all ganging up on me? You're all nothing but vermin.
It's not ridiculous at all. Any proof that shows Toko was hiding in the rec room? I haven't. Yes. New element has been added to the bullet time battles. Dude, we're almost done the game. I've been pressing the Y button during final strike without a second thought. Now on, you're gonna have to pay a little extra attention to your final and finishing blow. Choose the proper truth bullet to use during your coup de grace. Same way same way as during a non-stop debate. Press the left bumper. Also, like the debate, if you logic difficulties of the kind, it won't happen. Educational purposes, we're gonna pretend you're set the mean regardless, just this once, okay? Halfway through the game now. Only halfway? Good luck and have fun. So what is this battle? Okay, it is a rhythm game. I'm trying to fold laundry here.
It's a lie. I admit nothing. I hate you. I curse you. No, no, no! That's enough! I admit nothing. I curse you. I curse you. It's a lie! That's enough! It's a lie! I admit nothing. That's enough!
So, the one that wasn't getting proc, I had to press LB for? Is that what it was? Oh, I understand. Never mind.
I hate you. I curse you.
We choose it here.
That's enough!
This should prove it.
Oh, I didn't pay attention. I didn't know when we did it. That makes sense.
Did you know someone left a handprint behind on the inside of the locker?
I still feel
They
like
must
she
have
kind
been
of
hiding in
accidentally
there
killed
and
herself.
put their hand on the wall without thinking. Does his handprint look familiar, Toko?
Does it mean that it was the poison that killed her?
Okay then, let's just compare it to your hand, shall we? That'll clear everything up, right?
Stop wasting my time. Just tell us the truth.
Okay, it's my handprint.
Dang, she just straight up admitted it.
Then you killed Sakura!
No.
No, I swear, there's no way!
I think this 88-pound,
I probably
5'2" child
Straight
Um,
up again.
Wait,
had enough force
what
to
do
kill
you
her.
mean probably?
Give us the details, Toko.
4'9",
What happened between you
4'7"?
and Sakura?
4'2".
Talk. Now.
After I read Sakura's note, I decided to go there early, so I went into the rec room. I didn't know what she might do if I didn't go, but I was too scared to face her head on. So I figured I'd just sneak in first and hide in the locker.
Then, did you see what happened? Did you see me hit her?
Yes, and I saw you write my name. I saw you forge her dying message.
Well, that's awkward.
So after he left, I jumped out of the locker and put the magazine back on the shelf.
But when you did, you put it back upside down.
I didn't mean to. I was in a hurry.
Imbeciles, all of you.
So
Forget
true.
all that. Why did you attack Sakura?
After I put the magazine back, I heard a sound behind me like a monster growling. And when I turned around, there was Sakura, covered in blood and staring right at me. When I saw all that blood, I fainted right there in front of the magazines. I don't remember what happened after that. If you want to know more, you'll have to ask her.
Her, you mean?
Guess who's back?
It was your fault after all.
My fault, Master's fault. When our faults combine, they soar to even greater heights.
Just answer the question. Did you kill Sakura?
Well, to be honest, Miss Morose and me don't actually share our memories. So I can't really say what was going on. But I was just minding my own business, sleeping peacefully when someone shook me awake. Was it a prince paying me a visit? I wondered. So I opened my eyes to see... splatter everywhere! I was not prepared for that. And, well, I guess it took me by surprise. I got so startled, I smacked her with the first thing I could find, which I
One
guess
sec.
was a bottle.
My bad, I'm here.
Sakura was just worried about you, and you're terrible! No, she's terrible! Thanks to her, I murdered someone who wasn't an adorable boy for the first time ever!
And when it was all over, you collected the pieces of the bottle to get rid of the evidence, didn't you?
I wasn't about to die for some woman! If I'm gonna go down, I want it to be for killing Master!
Just go away and die your meaningless death alone. Don't drag me into it.
But I just can't catch a break, you know? Fate's got it out for me. Cause normally, Sakura should have been able to dodge my attack no problem!
Even as strong as she is, she must have still been reeling from Hiro's attack.
Hey, come on. That's, you know. But anyway, I'm not the one that killed Ogre. So that's good.
You talking like that? Hina's gonna.
Well then, that's that. Let's start the vote.
No. But for sure you'd have some words for Hiro in that one.
What's wrong? Come on everyone, we're ready to vote, right? Let's do this.
No, not quite yet.
Huh? Not yet? Why not yet?
Don't you think there was something odd about Toko's story? I mean, you had to have noticed.
Odd. Huh?
Hiro's attack, and then Toko's, but that still wasn't the end of it.
It wasn't?
Tell us your story one more time. Tell us what happened after you fainted. Then even this gaggle of idiots should understand what I'm talking about.
Your wish is my command, darling.
What over is it? When he kills Sakura is. I had to look at this
I was
thinking,
just sleeping peacefully.
what's up with the exam? I gotta see the each one of these.
And all of a sudden, Sakura was right there in front of me. I remember waking up right in front of the magazine shelf.
And you were taken by surprise when you saw Ogre covered in blood. So you smashed her head in with the Monokuma bottle?
You got it! I smashed her good!
And where did the attack take place?
Right where I woke up. I killed her there in front of the shelf. I was just sleeping.
No, okay. I forgot to skip
All of a
this
sudden,
beef.
Sakura, I remember waking up.
You were taken by surprise. So you
Smashed her head in.
You got it!
And where did the attack?
Right where I woke up. I killed her.
Before the shelf.
We found Sakura sitting upright in a chair. If the blow by the shelf was the cause of death, there's no explanation why she was in that chair.
So, you finally noticed.
That's just another lie from a bloodthirsty serial killer.
Are you sure you didn't attack her while she was sitting in the chair?
No, I'm sure she's telling the truth. Anyone who saw the murder scene should think the same way.
Think she lift a 300-pound karate champion? Evidence that proves that there was an attack in front of the magazine shelf.
I
Here's a
got it!
vomit of blood.
Sakura was definitely attacked in front of the shelf. The blood stain by the magazines is proof of that.
Then she must have moved the body after she killed her, right? All to make it look like I did it. Because when I hit her, she was sitting in the chair.
Hey, come on now, look at me. I can't carry anything heavier than my own scissors. There's no way I can move a muscle-bound heavyweight like that.
Then what's the deal?
Well, are you still convinced the case has come to an end?
But
Plus, the biggest mystery of all, the locked room, still has yet to be explained.
Oh no.
Until we take care
I mean,
of
it's either
that,
Hina
we
did it,
can't say
or
this
it
place has been
was a
properly
mixture
settled.
with the protein powder.
oh, that part's easy. After she killed Sakura, Toko just hid in the locker again.
Huh. So she just hid in there till everyone showed up and opened the door? And while everything was all confused and hectic, she just snuck out of the locker into the group.
No, I don't think that's possible.
There's no way Tokyo was hiding in the lockers because... Or you know when to get her. I was in the locker. I don't remember. It's been a week.
I got it!
Oh, that makes sense. It's all for
Before
myself.
we opened the door to the rec room, Hina and I both got a look inside. And at that point, the locker was already open. So obviously, Toko couldn't have been hiding in there.
Okay then, where was she hiding?
I don't know. What's this whole locked room thing about anyway?
How do you not know? You killed her!
I think the fact that I don't know proves I didn't kill her. Thank you very much. You're lying.
No, she's not. I've been saying all along, there's still more to this case.
But if Genocide Jill didn't do it, that means Ogre didn't die from the shot to the head.
And
Well, I can't imagine what else could have killed her.
that's because you're overlooking vital information.
The poison. You're missing something so important. Of course, mentioning maybe it's. Make your argument. Yes. Yellow powder. That's what I'm going
was
with.
it that killed Ogre? If it wasn't from Genocide Jill's attack, then what was it?
There's no other possible cause.
Don't say it, you know.
Killed Sakura. I can't think of.
Anything other than the shot
What
to
the
her
frick?
head.
Shoot!
Shoot.
What was it if it wasn't from Jen?
What was it?
Don't
There's
hit anything.
no other possible cause.
Hey, this is it.
What killed Sakura? I can't think of.
Anything.
No, that's wrong.
Again, they both are the same exact thing. But, the one's that one, not the other one.
According to the Monokuma file, Sakura had vomited blood.
Or I'm getting one step ahead of myself.
I think we can assume there's a chance this was related to her cause of death. In fact, there was even a trace of blood left around her mouth.
Well, I mean, maybe when she got hit with the bottles, she cut the inside of her mouth.
What?
If that's all it was, the file wouldn't have specified vomited blood. Not to mention, I didn't find any cuts inside her mouth.
You even checked in there? God, you really are into dead bodies!
No, I'm not into dead bodies. What I'm into is solving mysteries.
But if there wasn't a cut or anything, then what made her vomit blood?
Some sort of reaction within her body. Most likely, Sakura was poisoned.
Poisoned?
That's right. This is the conclusion I've arrived at, and so there can be no mistake.
So true.
You're making me go all weak in the knees! She was poisoned? It isn't possible.
Is it really so hard to believe? Then let me explain exactly how the culprit was able to poison her.
You can explain it?
Of
I won't do any
course.
slash markers
If you
through
don't
this, but
mind.
if it's long, I'll just cut it at some
Everyone
point.
quiet! Shut up and listen
Like if it's
to
like an hour, I'll
Master!
make it to 30-minute parts.
But
Hey,
you're the only one talking.
I'll play it again, play Sunday.
The key to unlocking this mystery was
What is it?
hiding in the chem lab up on the 4th floor.
Huh? Not in the rec room? And I could have found it all along.
You never would have, since you gave up on the search the moment you were barred from the crime scene.
Well, yeah, good point.
There's a big shelving unit in the chem lab that houses a variety of mixtures and chemicals. And that's where I found this.
Is that the poison?
It's not an especially powerful poison, but it'll still kill you if you drink an entire bottle.
She
But
power
the
trick that thing,
specific
baby.
properties don't matter. What does matter is where I found it.
Where'd you find it?
The shelf is divided up into 3 sections, A, B, and C. In Section A, dietary supplements. In B, reagents. And in C, a variety of lethal chemicals.
And that's where the poison came from? Section C?
Well, that's the question, isn't it?
I get it from Section A.
I got it!
I got it.
The poison was actually in Section A, wasn't it?
Huh? But you just said that Section A was for supplements or whatever.
Strange, isn't it? Why would there be a bottle of poison mixed in with all those nutritional additives?
Yeah, so? Why?
Because the culprit switched it out. That's why.
What do you mean?
I mean this.
I don't believe my eyes. Byakuya did put the bottle of poison to his lips and
Huh? Master!
I was shocked at what we were seeing. All we could do was stand there and watch. If it were the most natural thing in the world, Byakuya was as calm as ever. He was just down in protein powder, huh?
Ugh, that tastes awful.
Oh no! Master's in real trouble! You have to drink some water! You can't just swallow powder! It'll stick to your throat!
Idiot! He just swallowed poison! We need to make him spit it out!
The flavor certainly makes me want to spit it out. What's so high quality about this stuff?
Huh? What are you talking about?
I'm talking about the protein, of course.
Protein?
Can I see that bottle for a second?
Sure. Do whatever you like.
Hyuga took the bottle from Byakuya and scraped out a bit of contents with one finger. Touched a finger to the tongue.
It's protein powder.
Correct. That wasn't poison in the bottle, but harmless protein powder. Which makes one wonder, the poison that should have been in that bottle, where did it go?
The bottle of poison was actually filled with protein powder, meaning that conversely, the poison must have been, and could it be, Magnus Gambit. What, her flask? What the frick? Protein. At the end. Oh.
Now I understand.
Now I understand.
The poison must have been poured into the protein can. If the protein's in the poison bottle, it seems only logical to assume the reverse is true, right?
Absolutely. The contents of each container were switched. So the protein was in the bottle of poison, and the poison was in the protein can. Once you accept that, it becomes obvious how the culprit was able to get Sakura to drink the poison.
Holy crap!
All they had to do was hand her something there at the scene, and she was happy to drink the poison herself.
I got it! You're saying they gave her a protein drink, right?
A protein drink which actually contained a deadly poison.
What?
That's all it took to kill Sakura. That is the true cause of death.
You know, I do remember Ogre saying that protein stuff was good for all kinds of aches and pains. So maybe she took it to try and help with the whole bleeding head wound thing.
But what was offered to her instead was a bottle full of poison. And I already know exactly who swapped the mixtures.
For real? Who was it?
Evidence revealing who replaced the two materials was left in the chem lab for anyone to see.
I got it!
I got it.
The footprints left behind in front of the shelf. That's the evidence you're talking about, isn't it?
I visited the chem lab this morning, and there were definitely no footprints there at that point. They must have appeared around the time of the murder, which leaves no doubt that they're connected. What's more, the footprints were in front of Section A, where I found the bottle meant for the poison. The culprit must have gone to Section A to swap the poison and protein, leaving their footprints behind. And given how clear the prints were, figuring out who they belong to will pose no problem. All we have to do is check everyone's footprints right now. Then we'll see who...
It was me. The footprints. They're mine.
Hina?
If you're all gonna find out anyway, I'd rather you hear it straight from me, you know?
Then, Ogre's killer was...
Yep. I did it. I killed Sakura.
Just as I suspected. The footprints were made by a pair of sneakers. There was no mistaking it. And the only people here who wear sneakers are...
I don't know.
I got it!
I guess you give us fate this
Hina are
game.
the only ones. Oh, so Byakuya. That explains why you...
These footprints must be Makoto, are they yours? No. Let me see your shoes, I'll confirm this for myself.
If the footprints didn't belong to Makoto, that left only one other possibility.
Just Hina.
Plus, Hina's been acting strange ever since the trial began. You were in an awful rush to get to the vote, weren't you? This whole time, you've been focused on pinning the crime on someone else, haven't you?
I can't believe it.
What about it can't you believe?
Well, it's just... the two of them were so close.
That's likely exactly why it turned out this way. Because they were so close, Sakura didn't think twice about it when Hina handed her the concoction. Hina used that trust to kill her. She deceived the victim, and she tried to deceive all of us. I have to say, Hina, coming from you, this was a particularly nasty little scheme.
Hina, is it true? Did you really kill Sakura? And if you did, why? Why would you do that?
I found her. There in the rec room. She was hurt. She asked me to bring her that protein drink. But when I went to get the powder from the chem lab, it just occurred to me all of a sudden.
Now's my chance to kill her. That's what you thought, right? That's when you switched out the protein powder, and that's when you gave her the poisoned mixture.
And then she downed it all at once. And then...
Hold it! I'm not convinced.
You're not about to claim she wouldn't kill a close friend, are you?
I'm not convinced either with Sakura
You
so
still
heavy.
don't get it, do you? The game
sure
we're
if
playing
you-
here isn't so kind. Honeyed words like friendship don't matter here. What matters is outwitting the opponent, defeating them. Not a person alive would sacrifice themselves for another. In the end, we're all in it for ourselves. Just like how this girl sacrificed Sakura to save herself.
You say that, but I'm still not convinced.
How many times do you plan to repeat yourself?
Don't misunderstand me. I'm not saying it because of some misguided sentimentalism. But there's still that one unsolved mystery, and I'm not convinced.
Are you talking about the locked room problem?
Hina, if you really are the killer, explain it. How did you create that locked room?
Well, matter? Just because I'm guilty, that means I have to tell you everything?
No, it doesn't. But the fact that you won't tell us concerns me.
Surely you're not... Do you honestly think Hina didn't actually kill her?
And if I do?
Impossible. She switched out the mixtures. She's the culprit. There's no way you can doubt this.
Are you sure about that? Even ignoring the fact that I don't want to believe it, it just doesn't fit.
What doesn't fit?
I mean, why would someone leave such a clear clue like a footprint? It's too obvious, too easy.
He's right. It makes it look like you wanted people to suspect you.
That was... I was just nervous. So, I didn't notice I'd left a footprint.
You didn't notice?
Yeah, that's just how it was. What can I do?
Listen, Hina. Could you go into a bit more detail? Tell us more about when you switched the poison and the protein.
How come? That doesn't matter.
Hina, please, I'd like to know too.
Fine.
Waste your time if you like. It's clear that Hina is the culprit. There's nobody else to suspect. Nobody else could have possibly done it.
Go ahead, Hina. Start from the moment you arrived at the chem lab.
Well, right away I went to Section C and got the poison.
And is that when you spilled the powder in front of that part of the shelf?
Yeah. When I opened the bottle, I dropped it like an idiot.
I see. Okay then, go on.
So then I moved to Section A and got the protein powder, and that's where I switched them. Once I was done with that, I took the protein can that had the poison in it and left the room. But I accidentally put the bottle filled with protein powder back on the wrong shelf. And because of that, everything I did got found out. And that's it.
That story you just told. First you went to Section C to get the poison, then moved to Section A to get the protein, right? Meaning you went from Section C to Section A. Do I have that correct?
Yeah.
But if that's true. Isn't it a little strange?
Can you repeat that series of events one more time?
What's wrong with you, Big Mac? You're being awfully pushy.
It's the same thing no matter how many times you hear it. How long until you're satisfied?
How long? To figure it out. To uncover the full truth of this case. Make your argument.